hard data and what looks good on spreadsheets. It's harder to gauge the 30, 60, 90, 365, or even 730-day effectiveness of empathy, kindness, and self-awareness in an organization, but the results will play out. When you can eliminate fear from your organization, very good things happen. If employees don't have to spend their time trying to outmaneuver one another, trying to kill one another politically, they may actually achieve the task at hand. I don't know which 6-year-old girl in Tennessee is going to invent the system to score this, but at some point, it will be mappable. This level of common sense and human truth will play out. In big companies especially, many decisions are predicated on 90-day numbers. That practice comes from Wall Street and business school, where you're being judged every quarter on performance. It can lead to short-term behavior, even though many of us are still planning to be in business over the next 5, 10, 20, or even 50-plus years. Unfortunately, the bias towards short-term metrics can also make emotional intelligence a nice-to-have rather than a requirement. It creates a scenario in which a leader looks the other way when one employee makes everyone else in the office miserable just because that employee happens to be bringing in the most revenue. It makes people think that negative behavior and poor EQ, emotional quotient, are just side effects of being good at business. The business world I entered in the late 90s put the black and white on a pedestal. At the time, it wasn't recognized that soft skills could be the key to building a successful company. I don't recall hearing these traits being emphasized in mainstream business communities. Business was dog-eat-dog, an endeavor where only the strong survive. Ironically, I also believe that only the strong survive. I just believe that leaning into humanity is the actual strength that will help you survive and flourish. Not yelling at someone else in a conference room. Not being a tough negotiator with aggressive words. To this day, I think the strongest person is someone who's able to deploy kindness in the face of the opposite. The 12 ingredients I describe in this book, we'll get to what the half means later, are some of the traits that have led to my success and happiness over the years, in addition to others that I've observed and admired. Gratitude, self-awareness, accountability, optimism, empathy, kindness, tenacity, curiosity, patience, conviction, humility, and ambition. The black and white is still wildly important, but in my opinion, it's a distant second to mastering soft skills. I couldn't be more aware that there are 15 to 50 other ingredients that could have made it into this book. But these 12 stood out to me after seeing other leaders fall short in deploying them and how that gap made people around them feel. Many people in conference halls, dinners, lunches, buses, and flights would tell me stories of these 12 ingredients being neglected. One of the sad things about human nature is that negativity is louder than positivity. It's been one of the driving forces of my life to make positivity louder. One of the reasons I'm writing this book is to cheer for those traits and put a spotlight on them in business. My greatest challenge has been extracting these ingredients and articulating them. They're not tangible. They can't be tracked or measured on a spreadsheet. In fact, in May 1998, when I walked into my dad's liquor store, I didn't understand their significance. My dad's not a big talker, but on Thanksgiving weekend in 2020, when I had started writing this book, he told me that he hadn't believed in company culture back when I first started working with him. Coming from the Soviet Union, he thought that fear and money were the most effective motivators. That's how he drove his career. But today, now he believes in positive company culture over everything. Even though it doesn't come naturally to him, and he struggles in explaining it to his friends, he told me that he knows it's crucial. I find it poetic, especially if you realize how rarely my dad tells me stuff like that. This book is cathartic for me because it allows me to do what I can't do on social media, given